You're listening to a clip of Morning Madness, episode 119. Listen to all the episodes on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Listen to all the episodes in full on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Now here's the clip from Morning Madness, episode 119.
Over 50 million views. You're listening to The Joe Cronin Show.
The Joe Cronin Show.
The Joe Cronin Show.
I hope you hang your mother. This country sucks! This place sucks! CNN masturbated all fucking day. Dude, I will eat your fucking asshole out and then spit it into your mouth, baby bird style. Who wants to go? Call the show. I'll fuck your ass! I want to kill myself! If I think it sucks, I tell you!
The Joe Cronin Show.
Now that's a weekend we can all be proud of. UFC 229, a lot to take away from that because it was fucking insane, bro. And I like it insane, so it was, dude, it was whacked off. Anyway, I'm gonna just beat a dead horse and talk about UFC 229. That's gonna be something that I definitely got to do. And there's some clips of some other bullshit that I want to talk about. I want to kind of re-go over the Khabib press conference and go over something that I said that I thought was I thought it was funny because I don't even know if like Bailey or anybody else caught it. I was just being such a prick. But let's go over this first. Let's go. Let's have some fun before we get into this. Let's go to Derrick Lewis because this was funny. The interview with Joe Rogan, Derrick Lewis, the Black Beast. He just came back. It was really exciting to watch. I mean, all of a sudden it was exciting. The whole fight was kind of him just looking tired and taking shots, and you're like, well, this is gonna be over. And then out of nowhere, the guy just destroyed. I don't even remember the other guy's name. I don't remember it, but whatever. Anyway, Derrick Lewis in it with Joe Rogan. This was the funniest thing ever.
I'm here with the winner, Derrick Lewis. Derrick, why'd you take your pants off? My balls was hot. Hot.
You know, he gets in the ring, he takes his balls off, and then Rogan's on the outside like, why is he taking his pants off?
Pants off. My balls was hot.
My balls was hot.
Listen, man, what you just did was absolutely phenomenal. That was an incredible comeback victory, and it shows one of the reasons why people love to watch you fight, that you can put it all to bed with one shot.
I told them boys, I got number heart. You know, they keep underestimating me. I ain't all that technical and all that, but I'm getting there.
No one will question your heart, sir, after this. This is a come-from-behind knockout, the likes that we haven't seen in a long time. And you were looking for that big haymaker all night. You found it in the last minute of the fight.
I forgot, a few hours before the fight, Donald Trump called me and told me I got knocked this Russian out because they're making him look bad on the news.
I forgot. That's the best thing, dude. Like, everyone's talking about the hot balls thing, but this was really funny. Oh, I forgot. Donald Trump called me and told me to make sure I knock this Russian motherfucker out. Like, oh, I forgot. Like, that's funnier than the balls thing, I think.
Yeah, because they're making him look bad on
making him look bad.
Before the fight, I forgot, a few hours before the fight, Donald Trump called me and told me I got knocked this Russian out because they're making him look bad on the news. You know, him and Putin. They're talking about USA and his whole.
Yeah. Somebody cheer this motherfucker. My balls was hot. Dude, this guy's like my new favorite person ever, man. Holy shit. That was funny. That was really funny. Like, there was a lot of shit said, but that was some of the funniest shit. Just realized why I was hearing a humming. I'm like, why have I been hearing this fucking buzzing noise? It's the subwoofer on the floor. Like, I'm probably going to, filter out this audio so you won't even hear it anyway, but I just unplugged it. So anybody that was hearing it, it's some kind of weird frequency that no one else could hear it on. Well, there you go. Well, anyway, so that was the fun part. Derrick Lewis was a lot of fun. If you didn't watch MMA the other night, you probably heard about it by now. Conor McGregor fight happened. Conor lost, and then Khabib went over the top and everything else. But, there's a lot of shit, man. There's a lot of shit. But yeah, so, Khabib went over the top, and I'll explain to you why, a lot of people have been saying, oh, Khabib what a scumbag, and his people jumped Conor, and then other people are saying, no, Conor threw the first punch or whatever. I think that's a ridiculous argument. By the way, Conor threw the first punch. And I'll tell you why. Because if you watch all the angles and all the videos, first of all, Khabib talks shit to Conor after he beats him, which is not a problem. Then he throws his mouthpiece towards the Conor's guy who was talking trash to him the whole fight, which is why he was mad. But then Khabib leaps over the cage to go after Conor's guy. Now, from inside the cage, Khabib's coach tries to jump. Okay, so from inside the cage, Conor now tries to jump outside the cage because Conor wants to go protect his. And I'm going to tell you why the whole thing about Conor through the first punch is bullshit. Khabib jumps over the cage to go after Conor's coach, right? So Conor tries to jump over the cage to go probably protect his coach or go after Khabib. So Khabib jumps over the cage to run out after Conor's coach. Conor now tries to dive over the cage to go after Khabib, obviously. But Conor is restrained by everybody in the cage and is unable to get over the cage. But now Khabib's coach dives up on top of the cage and tries to get out to go after who knows what. Probably to attack Khabib, to stop Khabib, we don't know. But either way, it would have been a 2-on-1 situation, or it would have seemed that way. So Conor wants to get out there to help. But he's disallowed to do that. So he does, instinctively, he punches Khabib's coach in the face. So I don't believe that this whole thing goes back to Conor through the first punch, because Khabib threw the first punch by jumping outside the cage. Khabib threw the first kick. Khabib tried to assault one of Conor's coaches, and that's what started the whole thing. So go to what started the whole thing. And you can we don't go past anything else. We don't go to, oh no, the bus incident started the whole thing, or oh no, the trash talk started the whole thing. Listen, how come everybody Conor's ever fought has been able to trash talk? By the way, Conor makes you more money and makes you a bigger star. When he trash talks, Conor does theatrics on purpose to drum up theatrics to get a fight going, right? Now, we know these two guys really don't like each other, and that seems to be the case. But Conor still is Conor and does what he does. This Khabib dude barely did shit to make this fight interesting. He's boring. He barely did anything up until this point, But Conor's out there, trying to sell this thing, and you're taking it for real. I think that's why they have a problem, because this dude is a crybaby that he takes everything for real. Like, oh, you can't talk about my mother or whatever. You can't talk about my religion. Yes, you can. Welcome to America. We can talk about things here. And by the way, if you watch, Conor talks about everybody like this because he's trying to sell a fight and he's entertaining people. But this guy is all butthurt about it, like taking it for real. Like, oh, he insulted my religion. So what? Go back to your country or wherever you're from if you don't want your shit insulted. So Conor did not throw the first punch. Khabib did by leaping over the cage, dum-dum. Okay? Nice try, though. I do agree that a lot of people think, oh, Conor was just assaulted by everyone. That I will say that. Like, Like, Conor punched him in the face. He tried to get to Conor. He couldn't. He did a little bit body shots. Conor fought back. Another guy came at him. Conor fought back. And then finally the red-shirted guy hit him from behind. So they're all a bunch of wusses. So whatever. It all evens out if you want to say that. But yeah, Conor technically threw the first punch, but Khabib started the whole brawl. So whatever, though. Either I don't even care that much. You know, I think all of this people are Neanderthals anyway. But like, let's listen to let's listen to the conference of Khabib here. Khabib.
Can you?
First of all, I want to say sorry to Athletic.
Now, there is a possibility for a language barrier here, so I'll give him some of a pass on some things where maybe he didn't mean for things to come off a certain way, but I doubt it. I think he knows what he's saying, but, you know.
First of all, I want to say sorry to Athletic Commission, Nevada, sorry to Vegas. I know this is not my best side. You know, this is not my best side. You know, I'm human being, and like, I don't understand how people can talk about I jump on the cage. You know, what about he talk about
well, you did
about my religion? He talk about my country. He talk about my father. He come to Brooklyn and he broke bus.
He broke a bus. Listen, none of these things mean you jump over the cage and attack a dude in the show. He talk about my religion. He talks about my father. I mean, so what? You got in the octagon and you beat him. So, I mean, maybe he's talking about the guy outside the cage. Maybe that guy started talking shit, like, outside the cage. I don't know. But who cares? So what? Someone talked about your country or your religion. Nobody means it. They're all just talking shit. You know? It doesn't matter. It's just words. But this guy, you know, they're like, oh, there's consequences for talking. See, that's what makes you a psychopath, right? There's consequences. Like, that's what makes you a psychopath, in my opinion. You know, like, oh, no, he said something. Oh, no, he had some alcohol. You know, I don't know. To me, I just don't understand it. The honor, respecting. See, Conor is always about these shenanigans and being silly and entertaining people. This guy means business. This guy's, like, this is real for him, which I think is weird. Like, it's deadly real. And some people out there probably feel the same way. Like, you don't talk about someone's mom or dad, and, you know, you're going to freak them out. Whatever, you're going to flip out. But, you know, and again, he's from Ireland, too, by the way. He's not an American. But I just talk back about his dad. I don't know. Be like, well, you know, you talked, like, see, the press conference, I would, from a normal human being, press conference would be, he talked about my mom, my dad, he disrespected my religion, and he did this and he did that. In the end, it didn't matter. I whooped his ass. What do you think about that? Everything that he stands for is a fraud. You know, you could say something like that. And then it'd be like, all right. But to be like, well, you know, because you talked about all these things, I'm going to kill you or whatever the hell. You know, it's just, come on. And the bus incident, I criticized the bus incident already. But again, this wasn't in front of all these people endangering the crowd. But at the same time, I kind of like it too, because I'm crazy as well, man. So fuck it. I just think, I like it. I just don't like the idea that Khabib is such a fucking serious dude. I don't like serious guys like this.
He almost killed a couple people. What about this? What about this? Why people talk about I jump over the cage?
Because you just did it, you dumb idiot. It's like this guy's like, why people talk about that I went over the cage after he did all this other stuff? Well, when he did that stuff, people talked about that. When he threw the shit into the bus, people gave Conor McGregor shit for it. It's dangerous. You could have hurt somebody. What is he doing? So when Conor McGregor threw this dolly or whatever he threw through the bus, people criticized that. We all did, or at least a lot of people did. I'm sure some hardcore Conor people were like, I love it. Well, I criticized it. Someone could get killed. You know, I don't mind if you run around in front of the bus and maybe you smash the bus with some stuff and, you know what I mean, you talk some trash. You know, throwing something through the window, that's too much. That's dangerous. So we already criticized that. But now this guy's like, well, because he did all that, now I can jump over the cage and just attack people, and why you can't criticize that? It's like, what are you talking about? No, you're going to get criticized just like he got criticized for all those things that he did. When he talked about your religion, there was a lot of people who criticized that. When he brought the alcohol onto the stage, I guess there was a lot of people who criticized that. I don't give a shit, frankly, myself. I think one of the reporters was like, salam alaikum, or whatever the hell that saying is. Not to be disrespectful, I just don't know what it is. I don't know what, but I have no religion, so I don't care. I don't know what Christianity sayings are either. But, you know, then he says, how you doing? Thank you, but hey, Connor, also Connor, you know, how you doing with your new alcohol thing or whatever. And then he's like, oh, you can't say, you know, that Islam thing to me and then talk about alcohol. It's like, yeah, actually I can, because we're in America now and I can talk about whatever I want to. Why? Are you going to stop me from talking? You know what? That's why I hate that reporter who asked that question, just backed off and ignored it. Dude, I would have said, no, I tried to acknowledge you, and now I don't know. The reporter could have been doing it to stir some shit. I don't know. But either way, he can do it. It just happened. Sorry, it just happened, dude. But this guy's so serious about his religion and his dad, and oh, you know, I just can't deal with people like that. Are fucking idiots, in my opinion. We all love our parents. We all love whatever the fuck. And if we have to defend them, we will. But not this type of, like, oh, you can't mention, like, I'm sorry. No, I can do that because now we're in America. If you want to live in a world where you can't do those things or mention these things or say these things, well, you're in make-believe land or you're in the wrong place. You know? Sorry. The words hurt little Khabib. So you're going to get criticized just like Conor McGregor was criticized. Certainly some people are biased and don't criticize Conor. And certainly some people are biased and maybe won't criticize Khabib. I'll criticize both of them. But don't pretend that Conor can do all this stuff and get criticized, and then you're wondering why you're criticized right now, as it just happened.
Why people talk about I jump over the cage?
Because you just did it, you dumb fuck.
Why people still talk about this? Like, I don't understand.
This is like the mentality of the terrorists. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you bring drones and bombs to our world, our country, or whatever. So now we bomb your buildings. Like, why are people upset about that? That's what happens. You know what I mean? Like, that's like the same thing. It's like, okay, great. You know what I mean? What the countries do over in the Middle East is fucked up. You know, we should stay the fuck out of your shit. We should stay away from your shit and stay out of your shit. But does that mean that, oh, let's blow up a building with thousands of people in it and bomb kids and all kinds of stuff? You know, it's just like, that's the sort of the reaction. And the answer is it's all wrong. The answer is it's all wrong, but why do you think that what you did isn't wrong at this point? You know, it is wrong. But you're, you know, I don't know. It's like if someone, imagine someone, you know, was talking shit online, and then you showed up, you were like, I've had enough, and so you showed up to their house, and then you punched the shit out of him and put him in the coma in the hospital. Then you're like, hey, I don't understand what everybody's talking about. You know, he was online for 2 months talking about hurting me and all these things, so I came and I hurt him. What the fuck is everyone upset about? It's like, what are you talking about? You put him in a coma because he talked shit online. Who cares? Why would you put him in a coma for? Block him or talk shit back or report him for harassment? I don't know, do something. Put him in a coma, then wonder why people are upset at you. You know? Sure, he's a dickhead for talking shit to you online for months and being a bully idiot, but you put someone in a coma in real life now? No. And if you do, you're the bigger dickhead. Now, I'm not saying Khabib is the bigger dickhead, by the way. But I am saying that it's ridiculous that he doesn't understand where the critique is coming from. And he tainted his own victory in many ways. Especially to some of the, like the swing voters, if you want to call it swing voters, to some of the people who might have been like, you know what, I'm going to be a Khabib fan now, you know? Instead, those people went, you know what, this guy's a fucking asshole. And plus the bus incident, not everybody knows about that. Like, that's something that happened outside the fighting, whatever. It shouldn't have happened anyway, but, you know, you did this at the event. You know, so this was, everyone saw this. Everyone knows about this. Not everyone saw the press conference where he had his whiskey. Not everyone even understands why that's offensive. not everyone saw the bus incident, you know? But everyone saw this because it was on every news channel everywhere, whether you watched the event or you didn't watch the event. And they've watched 1 million post Conor McGregor event news updates, but this is the first one where his opponent beat Conor McGregor and then went into the crowd. You know, and then people jumped McGregor from behind is what it looks like. So, you know, that's what it looks like. So it looks bad.
I am my father teach me, hey, you have to be always respectful. My old team, where I'm training California 7 years, everybody know who I am. All my friends, like everybody who know me, they know who I am, you know. And I told you guys, these guys, not only him, his old team and him, they tap machines. You know, I told you guys, when you put him wrong way, he gonna tap. You know, what happened today? Like, they call him 2-time world champion, like 2 weight classes, but today he tap. And that's why, alhamdulillah, belt is here, undisputed, undefeated UFC lightweight champion. And you know,
it is amazing though. You got to give him 27-0, and he beat Conor McGregor. That's nuts. And as a guy who, as a person, you know, who did some amateur wrestling and things like that, I can appreciate this guy's wrestling, his grappling, his ground game.
And I want to say something like, you know, like people little bit, it's not people, I think it's media. Media a little bit change MMA. This is respect sport, you know. This is not trash talking sport. This is respect. So like I told you before, guys, I want to change this game. I don't want people talk about like opponents, talk about his father, like religion. You cannot talk about religion. You cannot talk about nation. You know, guys, you cannot talk about this stuff.
Yes, you can. He's like, I want to change the MMA. What is this, the fucking Sharia law of the MMA? I want to change the MMA. You can't talk trash. He doesn't want people talking trash about fathers and religion. Why? Why? What are you talking about? That's what they've been doing, is this trash talking. Now, it sells. Does this guy not know how things work? That stuff sells the fight. This guy is an idiot, prude. It sells the fight to do that. Nobody really hates you or hates their religion. Well, some people are assholes, but nobody really hates people's religions or whatever. You know, make fun of Conor's whiskey. Imagine if this guy at the press conference was like, you know, normally I would, you know, insult you back. You know, I wouldn't do this, but because it is your first time unveiling your whiskey, I'm going to taste it. And then, like, he fucking took a sip of it, and then he spit it out and went, ugh, tastes like shit. Like, oh my God, dude, that would have been so sick. But, you know, I get he can't do that because of his religion, whatever. So I get that. He couldn't do that. But he could have said, you know, like, you know, I had a few of my American friends taste your whiskey, and they told me it tastes like shit. You know, that would have been fucking hilarious. But listen, I can understand if you don't want to get involved in trash talk. I can understand if Khabib said, listen, I want to be respectful and not talk about people's private lives, trash talk. That's not my thing. He does what he does. I'm not going to do that. Fine, I can understand that. But what I can't understand is him saying he wants to change the whole thing and make it a certain way. No, that's not what it is. That might be what it is in your world, but that's not what it is for everyone else. By the way, how is jumping over a cage into a crowd of people to try to beat up a guy after a fight is over going to take care of the trash talking? And isn't it worse when you commit violence outside of the violent act of sport that went on a few minutes ago? You're literally jumping into the crowd now and committing violence on somebody. So that's your answer? You know, you want to clean it up and not talk about people's fathers and other things like that? Well, why would you jump over a cage and assault somebody then? Who cares? If they're talking trash, well, you just won. You could have come out and said, I'm going to clean up this sport. You see what I did tonight? I made him tap out. And pretty soon you won't be able to hear from him anymore about his trash talk and his dirty talk and all the things he does because I'm the champion now. And that would have been way more effective. You'd been like, damn, he's right. I mean, Jesus. You know? And maybe he fights him again, and he again beats him. And now you really silence the trash talker. But now you contradict yourself by going out there and jumping onto somebody. Which is typical, I think, of religious idiots. It's like psychopath religious people. It's like, you do something, you're going to go to hell because you did something, or, you know, if you say, like, you know, oh, you know, your God's a bitch, you know, and then that person goes, you know, I'm going to kill you for saying that, basically. Or, and, you know what I mean? Like, well, you can't talk about my religion, so because you talked about my religion, you know, I'm going to kill you. And he deserved it. Why is everybody surprised? He talked bad about my great God, so I killed him. You don't do that. You can't do that, so I hurt him. Like, no, you're crazy. You're crazy. And your religion's crazy at that point. If you believe that, your religion is crazy. You're crazy, and your religion's crazy. Listen to the rest of this episode and the rest of all the Morning Madness episodes on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Plus, don't miss the other podcasts like Corrupted Podcast, Morning Madness, the Jake and Joe Podcast, After Dark with Jesse and Joe, Justin Bailey and Joe Cronin as well, and more on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Become a patron and instantly download the audio files right from there and get easy access to the mass download folders to all the episodes and current episodes on JoeCroninShow.net.